Level 989.
Welcome to a 989 on Health Extra. These quick supplements should help ease any withdrawal symptoms you may experience while waiting for our next full episode. So, Mike, what's on today's agenda?
Those of you who've been paying close attention might have noticed that I did not publish an episode in the third week of August. Yeah, it's true. I was on vacation, but I'm going to cheat and post the episode as if it came out on the correct date. So folks listening in the future need never know there was a missed week. Except I just mentioned it. Now, ideally, I would have worked ahead and had an episode pre-prepared and it would have automatically published at the proper time. But I gotta tell you, July was a mess when it came to my work schedule. A bunch of my coworkers were on vacation, one after another, all month long. I was behind on lots of stuff in my home life, and the podcast was just one of those. It's a good thing I wasn't taking classes this summer. I don't know where I would have found the time in July. My grades definitely would have suffered. But this isn't going to be an episode of me complaining about being overworked. I'll warn you now, though, it's mostly going to be me babbling on. Vacations are important. According to a study article over at the National Institutes of Health, quote, one single short vacation of 4 nights has positive effects on the well-being, recovery, strain, and perceived stress, independent of the mode of vacation. These effects are measurable even 30 days recovery and 45 days well-being and strain after the end of the short vacation. End quote. Now, if you want a detailed breakdown of our thoughts on stress, I'll point you way back to episode number 2, where we devoted an entire episode to stress. So, 30 to 45 days of relief after just a 4-day vacation sounds like a pretty good deal. But a lot of people in the US only get about 10 days of vacation per year. This sometimes goes up to 14 days after you've worked somewhere 5 years. But how many Americans have the same job for 5 years? I've been working for almost 30 years. I have never had the same job for 5 years. What does this 4-day vacation resulting in relief mean? Maybe we should all try a 3-day weekend at the end of every month? You know, there are a lot of holidays in a given year, but many of them are in the later part of the year. How about we redistribute the holidays so that every month of the year ends in a 3-day weekend? I know it's easier said than done. And when we are off from work, we're going to expect businesses to be open so we can go out to eat, go shopping, go to the movies. So a lot of people are still going to be expected to work. How do we make that all happen? I'm going to reference that same article again. Quote, stress, a potential danger to a person's health and well-being, is a product of the transaction between an individual and its environment. It is commonly experienced negatively if perceived strain outweighs available coping resources. The workplace is considered a source of strain that causes stress, leading to detrimental health effects. End quote. I don't know about you guys, but for me, work stress is not so much about having too much to do. At my work, if I could somehow put in 16-hour days, I would never run out of things to do. And when you think about things that way, which I do, I just choose the biggest priorities and work on them until it's time to leave, at which point I leave. When your job is a boil the ocean type job, something with no end, all you can do is stay busy and try to produce accurate results. Everyone's different, but what causes me the most work stress is the discrepancy between the ideal and the real, the idea and the reality. I work in an industrial factory, and even in this 21st century era, we live in the year 2018. So much of the work is done manually, literally by hand and on paper, and later it's manually entered into a computer. The wasted time this results in irks me on some fundamental level. That's just one example of there are far better ways to do this that stresses me out even more than the workload. But that's always the case, isn't it? If only your boss would listen, if only your coworkers pulled their weight like you do, if only the bigwigs at corporate understood what it was like working in the trenches. Or as another article put it, high demand and low control situations and effort-reward imbalance related to working conditions, management style, and the type of job were causing distress at work. But vacations aren't all fun and games. Check the show notes for an article I found about something called vacation appendicitis. The vacation takes you out of that stressful work environment and hopefully helps you not dwell on your work too much. Studies conflict as to whether a vacation at home versus an expensive getaway are going to be better for your recovery. Some folks, especially those with an ability to do their work from home, need to physically get away or they're going to end up working. To me, it seems when it comes to a staycation, as nice as just sleeping in for a week, reading a book, binging a new TV show, as nice as all that is, if you can accomplish some of the big and small jobs around the house that may have been stressing you out, you're going to be happier in the long run. Cleaning out the garage and shampooing the carpet isn't fun, but it will make you happier on a daily basis to have it done. It might just be a quirk of my brain, but a vacation isn't so much about the amount of time I was away from work, but the number of different activities I did, especially if they're not activities I would do in a normal day or a normal week. Different activities make the time seem more full when the same amount of time spent doing one thing. In the end, it all comes down to what works best for you to restore your energies and keep you healthy. As always, there are lots of useful links in the show notes. Be sure to check these out for more details. Thanks again to our great listeners for sending in suggestions. If you'd like to send in your own topic for consideration, head on over to level989.com/contact and make it so.
That's all for now. You can find links to read more about today's topics at level989.com. Why not take a moment to rate or review us in iTunes, or give us a mention on social media? We can't help everyone if they don't know we exist. Don't rely on us as an alternative to medical advice from a professional healthcare provider. For the full disclaimer, please see our website. Thanks for listening, and now, go health yourself.